Hello and welcome to haQ attaQ. My name is Jakob, I'm your host and you're watching a haQ attaQ episode. Once again we're at it with the KORG Gadget drum and bass production trick series. This is part 6 and we're going to have a look at the vocals inside this track. Now I just want to say that if you have missed parts 1 through 5, including the sidechain compression tutorial, then you can access those videos if you click this card up here. I suggest you go watch them first and then come back to this one. Right, so vocals. I'm using Abu Dhabi to produce the vocal content. In this case, I'm not even putting in my own vocals. No, I just loaded a preset that already existed inside Abu Dhabi. Now I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep them. I might just make my own. That's what I usually do, but then again I just love how these vocals sound. So let's solo out this track and have a listen to it. Now it sounds pretty cool and it really suits the style of music we're doing here, drum and bass. Now there's a lot going on inside the insert effect slot. I've got an equalizer, a decimator, a delay and a reverb unit, and we're going to go through all of them. So let's start by turning off all of these insert effects and let's have a listen to the vocals in its dry state. Let's have a look at the equalizer here. If we go into the equalizer, we can see that I've done quite a bit with it. For a track like this, it was important for me to make the vocals not dominant but very prominent. So the first thing I did was cutting off the bass. I then enhanced a bit of the mid frequencies and raised some of the high brittle frequencies. So let's A/B this. Now as you can hear, a lot of bass disappears, some of the mid-range gets more pronunciated, and it gets that brittle, high-frequency glitter all sprinkled over the vocals like that. I like sprinkles. So looking at the equalizer, we can see that I put the frequency knob at 650 hertz, so that's quite a lot of bass and mid-bass that I'm shelving down to minus 14.7 decibels. Moving up into the mid area, we can see that I've put the frequency around 1651 hertz. I've got a sharp cue point around 7.7 and I've amplified it around 6.6 decibels. Moving up to the high frequencies, we can see that I've put the frequency knob around 11,000 hertz and I've high shelved it up to 6.6 decibels. So I'm pushing down the low range, pushing up the mid range and sprinkling some sprinkles over the top. Right, so let's jump out of the equalizer and turn it on. Let's have a look at the next effect. It's a decimator and I put it there to give the vocals a bit more of an edge. So you can clearly hear that distorting, decimated signal on the vocals there. Now in any other type of mix, this would have sounded really bad. But in this track it works, especially when I'm starting to mix it up with the delay and the reverb. So you can clearly hear how the vocals gets an edge and that the distortion gets blended out when you're using a delay on it. And that sound gets even more even when you add a reverb to the entire thing. Really quickly, we're just gonna go into the decimator and I'll just show you that the sample rate, I'm still keeping it at 44.1 hertz, but I've turned the bit down to 5 bits. So we're crushing it quite a lot. And I've got the mix up to 100%. I wanted the full 5-bit signal on this vocal. If we look at the delay, I'm syncing the delay because I want the delay tail to keep in sync with my tempo. There's really not much to say here, other than that I've turned down the color knob, and this is basically a filter. So it decides the frequency range of the actual delay tail. Let me demonstrate. And in this case, I wanted the delay tail to be a bit more muddy. And it's not a problem for me to do that, since I'm already filtering off all of the lower frequencies, all the bassiness with the equalizer at the top of the signal chain. And lastly, on this entire mix, we have the reverb. So let's A/B that. And all of this processing makes the vocals really stand out, but yet not be too dominant in the track. The reason why I'm using Abu Dhabi and not Bilbao is because of the way that Abu Dhabi works. Since you have a lot of effects in here, the stuttering you can hear is being made by the internal arpeggiator. These are the functions that makes me want to use Abu Dhabi instead of Bilbao for something like this, to get rhythmic patterns for vocal samples. I hardly ever use Abu Dhabi for anything else but vocals, just because of the stuttering, the arp. So if you want to see the vlog I made about Abu Dhabi versus Bilbao, then I'll put that link down in the description too. Well, there you go. I don't really know what to do for the next part. I have a question for you. Would you like to see me live stream the actual track building of this track right here? I don't think I could do it all in one live stream, but in a few live streams we could probably get something cool together. Just build a full-length track of this. Maybe you can even help me with some of the decisions I'll have to make when building this track. Right, so thank you so much for watching. All comments and ratings are very much appreciated. I've also got a Patreon account, so if you like what I do, if you want to support creativity and good content here on YouTube, then consider joining up on Patreon. Now, if that isn't your cup of tea, then you can always share my videos, refer to them to anyone who might. I always mess this bit up. There's a thumbs up button right there too. You can press that if you think that my videos deserve it. As usual, I wish you a very productive week. Now go finger all of your stuff with your fingers. I hope you didn't blow them off during New Year's Eve, and have a lot of fun doing it. Oh, by the way, click this box, you'll get to the full playlist of this drum and bass production tricks series. And the other box contains all of my haQ attaQ episodes, tutorial reviews and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm finished. I'm gonna go now. So, bye.